Breakfast with Cobb Colville.
Trickstar Radio.
Right then, 19 minutes past 8 here on Trickstar Radio. Right about now, I'm joined by a man like Bowden. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Yes. I'm all good. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Are you normally up early?
Do you know what? To be honest, most of the time I am, yeah. It annoys my girlfriend very much. So she's one of these people who wants to basically stay in bed all day, and I'm up going,
you know what
are we doing today?
You know, I wish I could do it, though. I wish I could just stay in bed all day. There's something that gets me up, even if it's just sitting in my chair, which is next to my bed.
Even when I have nothing to do, I always feel like I should be up doing like something.
Yeah, doing something. And again, there's a bit of a theme on this show at the minute about having people on that do like a lot of different things. Now, one of the main things you do is essentially DJing, but not necessarily in a more niche format. More so. So you're a DJ, obviously, who plays in a lot of the more sort of bars and sort of pub venues around Brighton, and more so like a lot of the pre-drink sort of venues a lot of the time. First of all, how do you find that differs from being in somewhere, say, like Patton's or the Arch, but being somewhere more like Hobgoblin or the Western or somewhere like that?
I mean, you sort of have to cater your sets and cater what songs and stuff you play a lot more to the venue. You're offering them a service. I think that's the thing I try and remember. When I first started out, I used to think, oh yeah, they're paying me because, you know, of my selection. A lot of the time it's actually they go, right, can you play these sort of songs, can you keep it in this sort of mood? And the cool thing is each venue is quite different from the others. Like some venues will want you to just sort of play soul, funk, disco, not necessarily any vocals on there. Other places will be like, bring the party, play hip-hop, R&B. And
so how do you kind of know in something like that when to switch it? Do you ever just kind of go, you know what, I'm rolling with this?
You read your crowd a bit. It's weird. It's a skill. And I don't think it's something, I mean, some people pick it up a lot quicker than others. I mean, it's the thing that I love about it is it's a learning process. I've been doing it now for almost 2 years, and I'm still going, right, I could do this better, or I didn't know. Even like my equipment, like I always, when I'm using my equipment, when using my Pioneers and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could do this. I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm going to try this out. And don't get me wrong, more often than not, sometimes I'll be like, nah, that was rubbish.
So do you find it's actually more? Do you find yourself being more creative with the process when you're doing kind of like more, I don't want to say pop selection, but I'll say a more mainstream selection of tracks? Do you find yourself having to be more creative with the actual mixing style, or like how you layer stuff together?
I think one of the things I've definitely been guilty of from time to time is sometimes when you because it's like a job, isn't it? Some days you're more enthusiastic about it than others. Some days I'm like, literally, okay, I'll play the song, I'll mix it into the next one, blah blah blah. The thing that I've always found exciting about watching other DJs is when they take a song that you know, or something that you think you recognise, or you recognise an element of, and they switch it up and they mix it with something else, and you create something new, essentially.
Something
and then you're like, oh, I didn't know there was a drum and bass version of this track. Oh, I didn't know that, there was a remix of this. And that's the thing that excites me. I mean, because we all have Spotify, we all have like Apple Music, we all have YouTube and ways that we listen to these songs. If someone can show you that same track or same mix with a different edge to it, man, it's cool. And
I think actually more so in that kind of environment of catering to crowds a lot more. You actually, me personally anyway, when I go to more sort of bars or kind of pub venues, I don't know why pub sounds like a weird one to say, but more sort of like bars.
It is weird saying it, isn't it?
I don't know why, but but when I go to these more sort of, I want to say more pre-drink venues, less seafront sort of venues, a lot of the time when I hear DJs, I find them tending to be a bit more creative. And when I was younger, I was a bit more like, no, they're just playing pop, it's whatever. And the more I look at it, the more I'm like, actually, this is difficult to do well.
Thing is, it's different for when I say if I do a set on Trickstar or I do a set or like at one of the clubs on the seafront or something like that. That's a bit different. Your slots are only gonna be like an hour or two long. Usually when you're doing like one of these venues, you're doing it for like 4 or 5 hours.
That's the thing.
And you got to keep it sounds crazy, but you got to keep yourself interested and entertained. And the way to do that is to be creative and mix things up a little bit. And I'm constantly, and I think this is one of the key things if you want to be like good at DJing. Don't get me wrong, my mixing's still not like the best it could be, but the thing that I sort of pride myself on is the fact that I'm always looking for new songs. And songs, my favourite thing about DJing, especially in those sort of venues, is when I play a song and people don't know what it is, but they start like vibing to it.
They like it. Yeah,
you see the turn of the head, the look. Ooh.
That face.
I said that on
twist.
I said that on Friday night to my friends. I says the best reaction a musician can give to another musician about their song is when they do, the scowl.
The angry. It's the best one. It's almost like it's like a combination of of surprise and like gratitude.
I always think of when Jay-Z's being shown "Dirt Off Your Shoulder," like when he's being shown the instrumental by I can't even remember who.
There's a video. There's a VHS
it became like a meme running for ages. He's just got that face that.
Yeah, this is what I'm into. So, what would you say there? Would you say there are many issues in Brighton in regards to these sort of venues? Because the last few weeks, one of the reasons I've asked you on actually, I've been hearing a fair bit of people being like, oh yeah, they just haven't paid me on time, or they haven't done this, they haven't done that, or they asked me to do this, got an hour in, and they just said, oh no, why are you playing this? This isn't what we said, when they've been booked to play something specific. Unfortunately,
it's just like it's a sad reality of the thing. I mean. It's a job at the end of the day. I think a lot of venues see it as this, and some people, and sometimes can be the case. They see it as someone turning up with their equipment, whacking out a few songs, and then going, "All right, pay me." But in fact, they got to understand there's a lot of money and time that goes invested into these things. I've spent quite a lot of money myself on my equipment because I wanted it to be good. It's like if you said to a carpenter, "Do you want the best tools and to be able to do your best work and stuff like that?" They would spend the extra bit of cash, innit? But I think a lot of the time, some venues don't expect much. Yeah. Some venues are very specific about what they want, and that's fair enough. Because at the end of the day, you're providing them a service.
And I think this is the other thing as well. At the end of the day, I think as long as it's clear, it's clear. I think the thing that I've seen a lot of people get a bit frustrated at is that when it suddenly changes, like 5 minutes in. Oh
man, I've definitely had like incidents like that. I've received emails and stuff the next day from venues going, "We didn't like this. You played too loud," and I was like, you could have just told me there and then.
Yeah. Anyway, it's interesting to hear, man, because obviously this is something that I know you do. Essentially, it's a big part of your income at the end of the day with this sort of thing. So it's always interesting. I like to ask people that are in the thick of it. You know what I mean, with this sort of stuff. Right then, we're going to jump into a tune next. This one is our previous track of the week, coming from a man like Higo. His remix of "Be Honest" by Georgia Smith. Do you like Georgia Smith?
I do indeed.
And this is a very, very fun, bubbly garage remix. 27 minutes past 8 here on Trickstar Radio, at Cub KXVU, at Finn Makes Beats. That's I believe that's still the out, isn't it?
That's the one.
Oh yes, I'm not forgetting anymore. I used to forget all the time. Don't go anywhere. We're live on The Breakfast Show here on Trickstar.
Waking up Brighton.
Breakfast with Cub KXVU.